everybody, and welcome to another Just Enough Heshy show.
I love you, Esther. You introduced us today.
Sorry, you were spaced out.
I was spaced out a little bit.
It's okay, I'm spaced out too.
Anyways, everybody, we have an interesting show. We have, again, another controversy that has come into effect, and I want to, again, introduce my beautiful co-host, Esty. How are you? Welcome back. I heard something interesting about you this week, which I'm going to make fun of you if you don't mind.
Yay.
And again, we have our good friend Misha back again. You know, Misha, people complained about you. How do I have somebody who doesn't believe in God on the show? How could I have such a... You have to talk... What?
We can get into that today.
We're going to get into that when you talk closer to the mic.
Sure.
I'm right here.
Okay.
I'm a little bit under the weather. I don't want to get anyone else.
That. I was going to ask you why you're so feeling. Anyways, Esty, before we start the show, let us all discuss our advertisers for the show. Again, who's sponsoring us. And we'll talk about all the good things that Esty says that is boring to the rest of the world, which I think is not boring at all, Esty.
Isn't it great? We all have different opinions.
Well, by the way, I want to shout out to my friend Ellie. Can I say that?
Go for it.
Hello, Ellie.
Hello, Ellie.
Say hello, Ellie, Misha.
Hey, Ellie.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, we have Soft Fusion Inc. They're a software
Sound
development
a little more
company.
excited, Esty,
I'm
about
trying.
Okay.
They're a software development company with 15 years experience, and they can help create affordable, intuitive problem-solving software customization services. And they are great. They can help you run your business smoothly, and you can get a free consultation. Oh, why is that? Okay. You can get a free consultation if you call them at 718-215-9800 for all your software development needs. We have Pescata Carne, which has amazing duck and handmade gnocchi and skirt steak, and they have delicious exotic dishes. Check them out. They're located at 509 Avenue P. And they have a sister restaurant, Pescata, New York. We're not going to be there tonight, but they have delicious foods. Salmon, Belgian waffles, so much more. They're located at 1776 Ocean Avenue. Yeah, we have Orchidia. They're a kosher dairy restaurant that has a buffet for $25 a person every day from 12 to 3, located at 4815 12th Avenue. And I don't know if I'm going to still advertise Change Pain because I'm not taking clients anymore.
Oh, really? Why?
I don't want to help people. I'm kidding. I do want to help people. I'll help them if they need, but through messaging. I don't know if I'm going to do like actual client sessions. So.
Okay, we'll get to that in a minute. And then we have Chamula Jewelers, a family-owned business for over 40 years, specializing in diamond engagement rings, eternity bands, and diamond jewelry. Or bring in your old jewelry to redesign and freshen up for a new look. Chamula Jewelers. We've got the sparkle for you. Oh, you see, I'm getting to you, Esty. Okay, you got the quote. Again, you can visit them at 944 Kings Highway, 718-336-1980. Again, 718-336-1980. And then we have ttstyles.com, Tehila Tishla, 718-675-6842, 718-675-6842. She does hair, wigs for all weddings and events and so on. You can call her. She has a great website. Check it out. She has great prices, 718-675-6842, and you can just email her at Tehila, Tehila, at teeteestylles.com. Again, just check out her website, teeteestylles.com. They pick up, they deliver. She does great work and great prices. Tehila Tishla, 718-675-6842. And then, of course, we have Green Line Building Solutions, which again today I help somebody with a stop work order, got them back in the building and so on. 718-871-0382, 718-871-0382. We're located on the corner of 54th Street and 16th Avenue, 5318 16th Avenue, Brooklyn, New York. We help with stop work orders, vacate orders. We help with code compliance inspections. We help owners show them how to expedite their DOB, the FDNY, and DEP plans. We help with settlements with the Department of Finance. We help with criminal tickets. We also specialize in evictions, and we help you really get back into your homes and lift your stop work orders and try to make peace between the neighbors. 718-871-0382 for a private appointment, or just pop in to the corner 54th Street and 16th Avenue, Brooklyn, 5318 16th Avenue. And then again, my favorite grocery store. They're open from 7 a.m. to 8:30 p.m. at night or 8 p.m. They're located at 2362 Nostrand Avenue, Wolf's Grocery Store. Call them. They'll pack your orders. They'll deliver your orders. You're just a great place, and I happen to love them. They're really two great guys. And if you you want to call into the show, you can call in at 718-303-9090. Ask us any question, talk about any topic, 718-303-9090. And you can click on the YouTube, SD, right? By just typing in Just Enough Heshy.
Yep, that's an option.
That's an option. And you can see our link, click it, and watch us live. By the way, now we're going to do my quote again for the day. And this is for you, SD, because you're all into this love thing.
It doesn't feel like it today, but yes,
I
totally.
know, okay, because you're not in love today. I got you. Love is like fire. It is beautiful to have, warm when you are near it, but the moment you get too close, it burns you.
Ow! You're saying that love is bad. That's going to burn you.
I'm saying love is beautiful and warm, but you have to be careful that.
No, because if it's real love, you don't get burned. It's when it's fake love and you think it's love, that's when you get burned.
Wow, SD, you're crazy.
No, I'm not crazy, okay? If someone really loves you, then they don't hurt you.
Sure they do.
Then they don't really love you.
Love is never having to say you're sorry, which means is you're doing something bad, but you don't have to say sorry because I love you.
That's terrible.
Yeah. Okay, can you hear my joke? Misha, please laugh this week. Please. All right. Okay, and we're going to take a call in a minute. Here's my joke. I was my wife when I first got married, Linda. She always fussed over me. She always took care of me. You hear this, SD?
Yeah.
She always anything that happened to me. If I bumped my toe, if I wasn't well, she always came in with teas and how you feeling and everything. But I knew it was already time that it's not happening anymore. It's dying out. What happened was the other day I climbed up on a ladder to fix the air condition, and as I got up there, I bumped my head on one of the beams. And then as I was fixing the fan belt, I cut my hands. And I scratched my side of my head over there. And as I tripped on the last two rings of the ladder, I ripped my pants. Okay. And Linda looks at me and she says, "Are those the new pants I bought you?" The joke is that she didn't care about my injuries. She only cared about the pants. Oh God, this is getting worse and worse every week. I do, and it happens to me. These things happen to me.
These are just sad stories.
I know, but I can't. You know that ST got. Do you know that ST's a comedian, and she got on stage the other night and told some live jokes live.
Yep.
I'm so proud. ST is a comedian. Actress.
I've never invited any of my friends.
Well, you have to
when I see it.
Yes, you have to invite us. Now let's talk a little bit about some local issues before we get into some serious zero topics, because Hesky says that we don't really talk about, we never finish our thoughts. So today we're going to finish our thoughts.
I hope.
As you know, first of all, I'm going to apologize to the police and to the men in blue.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah.
Go ahead, Esty. What?
Okay, I was going to say that a lot of people got very mad about using the term Nazi for the wrong things.
I was in the heat of the moment and I made a mistake, and I don't remember even making, but you're right. I do apologize to the men in blue, especially in the 66th precinct, to the men and women who put their lives on the line. I'm going to make it up to you. I don't know how, and I'm going to apologize to you first on the air. I did send out a text message to the Instagram, to Facebook, and to Twitter. I did it to all over the place. I sent it to Simcha Eichenstein and Feld and all that. But I do want to apologize. I did not mean it. I was in the heat of the moment, and I apologize. I was a little disappointed that the police officer beat up the guy, and it's a long story. And I do want to personally tell you that to the chief and to all the men and women of the 66th precinct, you are my heroes. And I'm going to do, if I have to clean and wash your cars the whole winter, I will do that if that's what I have to do.
How about promising to never call somebody a Nazi unless you're referring to an actual Nazi?
No,
that would be the best apology ever.
Nazi is a word I use for some bad people.
No, that's making the Nazis not so bad. Like, oh, there's tons of them. No, the Nazis were their own special breed of evil. You can't call other people the same kind of evil.
I have to agree with Esty on that.
Okay, I'm going to try, Esty. I'm going to try.
Okay, that's all we ask is try. Should we take a phone call? I feel like he's waiting.
You can take a phone call, but I do want to talk about some local politics about this guy the other day. By the way, was it today or yesterday? Yesterday, he was walking on 13th Avenue and 46th Street, and a guy jumps out of his car. And he from church car service, and by the way, it was on Twitter and Instagram that he was arrested and charged with the lowest crime. And the story goes is that he jumped out of his car, he screamed Allah, 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 it's a hate crime, blah blah blah, and he ended up being charged with the lowest crime.
I didn't hear him screaming.
Right. So my point is, first of all, 13th Avenue 46 is so busy. How come we didn't rush out to all go help?
It was 5 in the morning.
It was 7:30 in the morning. Number one.
Yeah, I saw the video. There was a lot of
traffic and people running. And I'm there on 13th
What do you mean?
Avenue.
He lay down in the middle of the street and no cars came at him.
Well,
that's got to mean that it was empty.
46th Street, and people, and you know what?
It was a red light. Like you see 4 cars lined up.
And there should have been more people there coming out, even jumping off the buses instead of video caming. And all of a sudden now you see Dov Hiken come on because he was on camera. because it was on the news. Oh, he's all over the place. But you know, last week when the Jewish boy was beaten up, I want he just came out with a statement, and I want you to read the statement. His statement is, "I'm concerned about the rest of one of our citizens, but let's not jump to conclusions yet. I'm urging everyone to exercise restraint. We will get to the bottom of what happened," which is not going to be true because he never does. But now that this guy is on camera, all of a sudden he jumps on camera because this guy is being filmed, so he can be in front of the news and says, "Oh, this is a hate crime, and we have to do this." Why didn't you come out on camera last week and talk about it? And why aren't you investigating this? Maybe we should just be concerned and see, and let's get to the bottom of this. Maybe this guy, according to the different gossip and stories, I mean, you telling me this guy just jumped out of his car and found a chassid Jew because we all look alike and beat him up? That's what happened?
So first off, I didn't know that like anybody except Mexicans work for Church Avenue. Just like, I don't know, I don't take their car service that often. But besides for that, anybody working for Church Avenue car service probably does want to beat up Jews, because when it comes to tipping, we really are bad.
Anyways, that's my story with the thing that this is a bad thing, you know what I mean? And by the way, the Sholmim and the Shmira all week long have been posting how they arrest, how they jump. They even, I hear, Photoshop pictures on how
Jewish Police Wars? Is that the name of the show?
We should start a reality show. Jewish Police Wars.
Right.
Very cute. Very cute.
Kosher Police Wars.
Call into the show, everybody. 718-303-9090. We'll take your calls, and don't worry about it.
I do wanna break in here real quick. I looked up right before the show. I looked up the charges against this guy Farouk Asval, or whatever his name is.
Mm-hmm.
They did charge him with like assault and attempted assault and like a barrage of charges.
Wait, how could they charge someone with assault and attempted assault? Either they attempted or they succeeded.
Right. No, because if you miss a punch, it's technically attempted assault, or the attempt.
So it's like it's counted.
They'll throw in whatever charges.
Wow, that's
possible.
really funny.
So it does look like they tried at least to throw the book at him. I'm not sure if they didn't try him with a hate crime.
Why?
We don't know. Like
right.
You were saying we don't know
the
rest of the story.
We don't know the rest of the story.
Maybe he's bipolar and he was just very sad that day.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So you just jumped out of the car and beat somebody up on the street.
It's very random. I mean, you'd have to be pretty crazy to do that.
I was watching my Twitter and WhatsApps, and people are saying that there's more to the story to this. I don't believe it because I saw the video. The guy was just on the corner there on the street.
Or maybe he knew where the guy would be. He's like waiting. You know, he knows that this guy goes every Sunday at 7:30 in the morning to this place. Maybe he was like,
was he a customer in the cab?
No, he came from nowhere. But maybe he had been in the past, and the guy knew like that this was where he dropped him off. Let's say last time, so he was like waiting for him.
That's what people are saying, but I don't believe that for a second. I can't believe that for a second that he did that. That he cheated somebody for what, $2, and he would be beaten up on the street.
No,
for that?
not $2, but he might have just, I don't know, been mean to him.
Well, this was still a bad thing. No matter what, you don't beat up another
I don't
person.
think we treat our car services well, and I don't mean by tips. I feel like we're just like we don't say hi, we don't say bye, we just get out of the car. Like we treat them like they're servants, and not like they're people.
7-minute trip.
Still,
you know?
I mean, in every other place except New York, you say hi, how are you, how's your day? You make some sort of human connection. You know, the guys at the toll booth, the reason they kill themselves is because they have no human interaction. Imagine driving people all day and talking to no one. That could make you go mad.
You know, I was when I was going through school, and I was trying. You know, young guy trying to make, pay my bills and stuff like that. So I got a job for like 2 months in the summer to drive a limo. And I was driving these rich people around all over the place. And one day a lady comes in our car, these fancy rich people from Manhattan, and she sits in my car with a cat. Mm-hmm. And she brings this cat, and it has like this jewel diamond around the neck, and a little pillow, and she's sitting in the car with us. And the lady asked me to please drop her off at this place for like 15 minutes and come back. So I dropped her off, and she left the cat in the car, and I went into the I figured I might as well fill up with the gas in the meantime and go back and fetch her. And I said, okay, no problem. And that's what I did. And as I pull in, the guy from the service station starts cleaning the windows and filling up the gas, and he looks through the window and he says, this cat must be somebody important. Sitting like, yeah, okay. Misha, you're never going to laugh at any of my jokes. This is not good, Misha.
He laughs on the inside. That's like he's not an outside laughing person.
Okay, well, I'm laughing at you jokes.
Someone asked, what about what happened in Crown Heights? What happened in Crown Heights?
I don't know what happened in Crown Heights. I heard there was some kind of, I saw a video.
I have a bunch of Crown Heighters watching me right now. I can ask them to fill me out.
So
yeah, if you guys want to call in and tell us about what happened in Crown Heights, if you want to discuss it or something.
So now I want to go through the
hold on, I have it.
718-303-9090.
I know, I remember it. It's just not the day.
9090.
718 SD doesn't remember the show. Also, it's called. What is the show called, SD?
Just Enough Heshy Show. At least I don't forget
Just
that.
Enough
Thank
Heshy
goodness.
It's because it has your name
By
on
the
it.
way, I want to give you some breaking news. You know Simcha Felder, your great senator?
Sure.
Okay, so his chief of staff today, and this is very, very interesting. I just want you to hear this. This is something that I'm in shock right now that I'm even reading. That his chief of staff, his name is what's his name? It's right over here somewhere. Who cares, right? Robert C. Powers, chief of staff of Simcha Felder, was accused today of groping somebody, a lobbyist. Now, number one, you don't see Simcha Felder suspending him. You don't see the whole world. Dove Hyken and everybody.
Maybe someone made it up.
So again, he's accused of this.
You can't do
crime.
guilty until proven innocent.
But
Innocent until proven guilty.
Kavanaugh, the guy who ran for judge, all of a sudden you were able to accuse him of a
It wasn't okay.
35-year crime that they accused him, and they made a whole big deal of it. And
That was equally as wrong.
But this guy was now accused of it.
I mean, Kavanaugh became a Supreme Court justice. I don't see how that.
But I don't know why people are not saying
right. And
this.
the fact is they labeled him guilty before even giving. It wasn't.
But this guy is the senator of our communities, chief of staff, religious man, the guy who's so special, this holy then thou.
One woman said it, a few women said it.
He only groped one woman. That I know that in 54 years I haven't been accused once of groping anybody, and I hug people
anybody want
all
to come
the time.
forward? I'm kidding.
Come forward. I have children all the time, and I don't get accused. And I hug people, and I joke with people all the time about stuff, and I don't get accused of what's it called again when you talk to a woman badly.
Harassment?
Sexual harassment.
Yeah.
You know, you have to be, it's not careful, but you have to do it in a way. I mean, I don't do anything in a bad way. Hopefully, even though Esty says I talk too much about myself, how good I am. I believe I'm good, everybody. Don't you think I'm good, even though a lot of people last week were saying I'm bad?
I think you're wonderful. I do want to break down a couple of things that I got contacted about.
Yeah, someone just messaged me the story. Go for it.
Go ahead.
Oh, no, not that story. No, the Crown Heights story?
Yeah.
Oh, I just have somebody mentioning Crown Heights.info.
But go ahead. First, break down what you think is.
Well, a couple things before we do that. I think it's important that, first of all, that victims of abuse are taken seriously when they come forward. I think that it's important.
Mm-hmm. What happens if they lie and they make stuff up?
And they should be given whatever punishment they were planning to give to the other person.
Shouldn't we investigate first?
Absolutely. But to have a victim come into police station and say, I was attacked and I was assaulted and this and that, and just automatically say, okay, we don't believe you until we find evidence. I don't think that that's a productive way of
you can say, we believe you, but let's get evidence, because until then we can't do anything about it.
That's the beauty of America, that you are innocent until proven guilty.
Well, you're innocent until proven guilty in a criminal court of law. Outside of a criminal court of law, that's just in the dodge.
So can I tell you what happened to me about 3 years ago?
Sure.
I was in my office on a Friday, and I was, this is when I had some issues. Again, this is where our show a little bit went off the air. And I was in the office on a Friday, and this lady was giving tickets across the whole 16th Avenue. Okay, and garbage tickets for no reason. She was in one of her bad moods, and she comes to our place, and the whole block comes to me. Heshy, come help us. So I'm in my office. I have to leave. I had to go to somebody passed away. I had to go help out with the funeral that was going to try to. It wasn't going to even happen that day, and I was running around like crazy. And they called me upstairs, and I said to the lady, "What are you doing?" And she's, "I'm giving you a ticket too. That's your box." I said, "It's not my box, and it's not my garbage. Look, my garbage is all organized." And I took pictures of her and all that, and she said, "Effing Jew," by the way. And there was 14 people watching this scene go on, and she continued to write the ticket, and she posted it on my window, and I grabbed it off. She laughed at me and whatever, and she walked away. There was a black guy there, there was an Arab guy there was a Jewish guy, Italian guy, and a bunch of Hasidic people there, and she went and walked away on her cell phone, laughing at me and making fun, and walked away, and we thought it was all over. A couple hours later, the police come and call me up and say, Heshy, we're going to arrest you for touching her. They said, as you took the ticket off, you touched her and her hand blew up. And she went to the police station, and then she sued me for workman's comp. I just want you to know that. It's because they wanted to get, and they arrested me so badly that they said that I hit a police officer, which I did not. And I had video and proof of it through Dove Hyken's video camera facing my building, and I begged him for 5 days to give me the video. And you know what he said? Till they returned my call. Oh, the video camera wasn't working. This $1 million system all of a sudden wasn't working.
Like the Saudi Arabian consulate.
Exactly.
The video cameras.
And then I had to turn myself in. And listen, why I was upset with the 66 precinct. I was a little bit upset about it. They went and they told me to turn myself in. And like a good man, they said, come in early. Now, Mr. Pearlstein wasn't there. Mr. Barry Spitzer wasn't there. Dove Hyken. Everybody knew I turned myself in, and I said I'd get out early. And you do it. Well, you know what they did? They held me an entire day in the cell. At 5, and now people came in with smoking marijuana. They gave him a DAT ticket. Smoking marijuana. Another guy, petty larceny, he robbed somebody and they let him go on another ticket.
Oh, that's what happened in Crown Heights.
They held till 5 o'clock. Because they figured after 5 o'clock it'll be too late for me to get processed that day. They took me down to Central Booking, kept me there till after I would almost miss the judge, but the judge was working till midnight that night. About 9 o'clock, I was processed, and I was actually going to see the judge at like 11:45. At 11:45, they pulled me back for my DNA, which is impossible because they had it and they swabbed me 20 times. And they made me miss the judge so I should sleep overnight in jail just to punish me. Yes, I was angry about it. Now, at the end of the day, I couldn't get the video cameras, because they wouldn't give it to me. And the police that supposedly have these cameras didn't help me out with it. Simcha Felder didn't come. Dov Heiken didn't come. I called all of these people for help. Help me, do something. Give me a DAT ticket. They processed me on a felony charge that I could have sat in jail for another year or two.
Wow.
At the end of the day, I went and did my own research, and plus the lawyer fees and the legal fees and all of that. What happened? Let me tell you what happened. 14 people who love me came forward. The black guy came, told the prosecutor, yes, she said effing Jew. The Italian, the Arab guy, I got affidavits from everybody. And then she says, I don't care, I'm going to pick 3. And she picked 3 random ones, which happens to be one of the black guys. And he says, yes, I'm ashamed to tell you what this lady did. A black lady, black sanitation lady. And then the insurance company called. We showed them all the letters. And when the case was dismissed against me, I went to court myself to make sure it was dismissed because they tried to play with me, the prosecutor. They made me come back 2 days in a row. So yes, this is your system. Now, this poor guy that was arrested last week by Shomer or Shmir or whatever, they ratted on him. This guy was arrested. You know what happened? Let me tell you what happened. He was out in 4 minutes for resisting arrest and fighting back with a police officer, which he should have been charged with a bigger crime, right? I don't believe he should have been arrested at all, and when I saw the video. But the point is, he was out on a DA ticket, and they all came running in. Why? Because we protested. Not one politician showed up for the protest.
But it was also caught on camera and released to social media within minutes.
Exactly. But my point is, mine was on video, and they didn't, and they wasn't, and they wouldn't give me the video.
It was a couple of years ago, but things don't travel as fast and back then.
Okay.
But I want to tell you what happened in Crown Heights.
Go ahead. What happened in Crown Heights? So that's why I am a little bit upset.
Apparently an 18-year-old black male was arrested for petty larceny for stealing orange juice from the Albany store. He was issued a DAT and released from custody. On the way home, the perp assaulted a Jewish male with a tree branch, caused a cut and bruise to the victim's shoulder. Perp was found a few blocks away and arrested for felony assault and hate crime.
Because he just hit a Jew for no reason.
Yeah, I guess because he got mad that he got arrested for stealing orange juice.
From a Jewish store.
If a Jew would have done it, they would have let them go. Why wouldn't they let go like he stole an orange juice? Like
they did let him go. Well, no, okay. So I think that there's a very and I don't know if this is I don't know if I want to get deep into this conversation, but I think that there's a perpetuance of racism that goes on within these ultra-Orthodox Jewish communities.
I think racism is everywhere. We're all afraid of what we don't know.
Right, but especially within very insular and
we're getting better.
I disagree with you. I don't believe the Jewish people
are getting better.
I don't believe the Jewish people are racist at all. If anybody, we are the most tolerant people.
I have a lot of friends that live in Crown Heights, non-Jews.
We're not racist. We consider all non-Jews equal.
But inferior. I was talking to somebody.
Yeah, that's just what they're taught.
Yeah, and this guy started cursing me out. He found out I was an atheist. He found out, and this other gentleman jumped on the comment thread on Facebook, and he's saying that he's an Ashkenazi Jew. He started wishing that ISIS would cut our heads off because we weren't authentic Jews, because he's a Syrian Jew and like he comes from.
May I ask you a question, Misha?
What's a superiority complex?
Misha, what does atheist mean?
Atheist means lack of belief in a supernatural deity.
You're that positive? Wouldn't you just be agnostic on the 1% chance that there is?
The two terms are mutually exclusive. You
can anybody be smart and be an atheist? If you're agnostic, saying I don't know, fine. But to say for certain that there is no God seems very dumb for someone who's logical.
And do you call yourself?
Nobody said, but that's not what the definition is. The definition is lack of belief in a God. In other words, I haven't.
Doesn't mean you don't for sure believe. It's just I haven't found evidence.
There's no evidence to suggest that there is a God, so there's no reason for anyone.
But it's all possible.
But faith means that you believe in something that you know that it's faith. That's what faith is.
But why is faith a good thing?
Faith is a very good thing. It's like you have faith that your children will do good. It's faith.
Do you have faith that your children will do good, or do you hope that your children will do good?
I do good deeds.
Faith is hope.
I hope that my children will do good. I faith that my children will do good.
Yeah, because you never know what.
Using that concept.
Hope and faith is the same thing.
They're not, though. You can't use the two terms.
I hope my life will be good. I have faith that my life will be good.
You can say I have faith that that Moshe Rabbeinu received the what's called on Har Sinai. You can't say I hope he. You could say I hope he did. But hope, and you understand the connotation
So
there.
you
It
don't
means
believe-
that you don't really necessarily accept it as complete truth.
Misha, 1 minute. Misha.
You hope that it's true
Right,
because
because-
otherwise it would completely redefine
Because
your
belief is
self-identity.
having facts to prove it. Faith is having no facts and just wanting to believe it. So
No,
it's technically hope,
Belief is faith.
right?
Believing is faith. Is based on faith.
And hope is believing.
Hoping is hoping that something
Alright,
is true.
Misha,
So you can hope that your children will come home safe. You don't have faith. You don't know that that's going to happen.
No,
Faith.
what's faith?
Faith is a knowledge claim. Faith is saying that you know something to
No,
be true.
faith is hoping.
Can you give me an example of something that you have faith in?
Love?
I have faith that
You're going to be an actress?
I'm going to be an actress.
Do you know that you're going to be an actress?
No, I have faith. I have hope.
But having faith means that you
I have
want
hope.
and you have faith that you're going to turn out to be an actress.
Faith is like hope.
But it's not.
But it is.
But it's not, because faith in its essential form is believing that something is going to happen without any evidence.
Okay,
You're saying
Right.
I
What
have
is hope?
faith.
Hope is believing that something will happen without
hoping
any
is
evidence.
having a desire for something to happen.
Can I ask you a question?
It's not being certain in the future or a certain
Faith
reality.
is not being certain. It's trusting even just.
I want to get
Based
involved
on
in this.
anything.
Well,
Okay.
can I ask you, I have a question for you. Do you consider yourself a Jew?
I have a Jewish identity. Yes,
A Jewish
culturally,
identity.
Culturally, traditionally, I'm a Jew.
Because we're a religion and a culture.
Ethnically, I'm a Jew.
Right.
Basically, you're a Jew, but a Jew is basically somebody that has been a chosen people. That's why we're Jewish. We're not
I mean, that's
just
the religious aspect of Judaism. So there's three different aspects of
By the way,
Jewish
you don't
identity.
believe Moses received the 10 Commandments on the mountain of Sinai from God?
No, I think that's a myth.
What do you mean? He came down with 2 rocks or 5,000?
I don't think the story ever happened.
You don't believe the story even
I
happened?
think
Millions of people.
most of the Torah was developed as a framework for developing a society and a
Oh, so it's a
civilization.
fake book.
Well, it's not completely fake. There's a lot of actual ideas or war stories and all these different things that are based on events that most likely occurred or exaggerated.
So the
and
10
embellished
Commandments that say don't steal, don't rob, don't be homosexual and stuff like that are all stupid.
Well, not necessarily. They're developed off of this idea that we want to create this society that's controlled and healthy and has a system of morals and ethics and laws.
So what makes this world work? It's just a Big Bang theory that 2 rocks banged into each other and became?
Physics.
Let's take a call, Esty.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hello. You're on the air with Heshy, Esty, and Misha. Hello.
Hello, Yaakov from Williamsburg. How are you?
Hello, Yaakov from Williamsburg. How are you
Yaakov.
doing? Oh, it's Bachman. Very good.
I want to make 2 points to the guest. What's his name? Misha? What's his name?
Misha.
Misha.
Yeah. 2 things. Number 1, it says in the Talmud that God created one man in creation, not many, because nobody should say that their grandfather is greater than the other person's grandfather, which is anti-racism. That's in the Talmud, okay? Now, another thing for the guest is that there has never been a year since the Exodus from Egypt that the Jewish people have not had a Passover Seder, year after year after year, with no interruption. Now, how does he speak to that?
Okay, so I'm sorry, what was your name again?
Yaakov.
Okay, so on the first point, you were saying that.
By the way, Yaakov, thank you for. By the way, Yaakov, Hashem,
Let
God.
him answer.
1 minute before he does, God created the first man, then he destroyed the whole world, and then he had a new one guy to start all over again. You know that, right?
But it was one person with his sons-in-law. In other words, nobody can say that I'm from a special breed.
Yeah, but the entire concept of Cham and Yafes, Cham became black, was this whole point that he would be hated for the rest of eternity. For generations to come, he would be hated and chased to the end of the earth.
Well, not necessarily.
So the perpetuation of racism is actually embedded in the Torah.
Wow, you're saying that the Torah is racist?
Well, it's not just racist; it's misogynistic. It's xenophobic. I mean, look at Bereshis, Perek Gimel, Pasuk Tazayin. It talks about ruling over women. Look at the various aspects of Noach, where it talks about.
But it says how we have to treat women correctly. We have to give them
Where does it say
contracts. Sure, when you marry a woman, you have to give her.
It also says you can sell them into slavery. It also says you can buy them into slavery. It also says you can take them as sex slaves.
I don't think it's. I don't know where.
I don't know where it says that.
The Talmud and Midrashim.
You're allowed to sell your daughter as a wife, not as a slave. Really, you could sell her as a slave. You might. Very interesting. The way you're interpreting this.
Someone's asking.
But the second,
Ask him who created God.
The second. Well, that's
Yaakov. Thank you for your call, Yaakov.
Right.
Yaakov had a second point. He said that the Passover Seder, the Pesach Seder, was
There was a time when we lost it, no?
But we have no record of that. We have no idea whether or not, in other words, based off of historical evidence, based off of every historian who has ever researched the biblical chronology, is most likely written by 4 different time periods, 4 different sets of authors, and there's no record that we have that records some Pesach Seder being
Sure, the Torah
attended since
the 5 books.
1400 BC.
Sure, even the Christian Bible, which started like 300 years after,
But the Christian Bible is not necessarily,
which again is about 2,000 something years old.
but it's 200 AC.
Okay, still.
He's saying that it went back to 1200 BC, roughly.
Well, again,
There's no
2,000,
record that they had
4,000, but
Siddarim. And
again,
even if they did have Siddarim, that could have just been some
A party,
traditional meal
just a
that
party.
they had, and then eventually that was embedded into the culture, into the mythology, where they said, why do we have this party during the spring equinox? They have this festival, and it happens in many religions during the sprouting of new flowers and all these different things. They have all these different festivals throughout many different religions.
so you don't believe in the time when we have to repent, like Yom Kippur and stuff, that we have to say to God, please forgive us and so on?
Well, I don't believe in a God, but
Wait,
think
I have
that-
a problem with you
I had
saying that.
One second, I did a whole post about Yom Kippur right before Yom Kippur. I think a lot of the ideas that were embedded in Jewish culture and society are very beneficial and very pragmatic, and they're very helpful.
Right. They're
for the
helpful. They
individual.
keep society controlled,
So I think
like
Yom Kippur,
animals.
first of all, there's a lot of health benefits for fasting. I think that there's a lot of meditational benefits for reading poetry.
Fasting all the
and-
time, not fasting just once a year or
It's
twice
more than
a
once a
year.
year,
Right,
but
but
once in a while, the regular
right,
occasion.
to clear out your system, but they now are doing intermittent fasting where you fast a few times a week.
I do that.
Yeah, so
Hmm.
there are benefits to many different aspects of Jewish traditions, and those are beautiful, and I partake in them very, very frequently.
Wait, but I want to say about Chum being black and that they're supposed to be hated. It doesn't say that we are supposed to hate them. It's saying that as a nation they will always have problems. It was kind of just predicting what they're going to go through, not that we have to continue the hate.
Yeah, but if it's embedded in the
distinction.
Torah,
If the Torah is just
immediately-
stating what is the facts of the world, it's
What are
telling
the
us in advance
consequences
what's
of that?
going to be.
But what are the consequences?
It's not saying we have to hate them. We're saying that there is a consequence
Granted.
and they have for generations been hated. We're not there. It was just saying what is true, not that we should continue it. It says to be nice to all Gentiles, and we shouldn't be like. It does not say please hate black people. It does not say that
But
anywhere.
if it conditions it, if it,
Hold
if
on,
it says that it's
Yaakov
okay,
wants to ask another question. Yaakov, what's your question, Yaakov?
Yes, I just want to say one quick thing regarding what Nisha's talking about, all these different things. He's pointing out something very interesting that Maimonides said in his commentary on the wisdom of the fathers. There's a line in the wisdom of the fathers that says, know what to say to the apicurus, to the non-believer. But Maimonides says, this applies to a non-Jewish non-believer. But a Jewish non-believer, you don't say anything to him because he will never get along with anything you say. And Misha, you're a perfect example of what Maimonides said. You say nothing to such people.
okay. I mean, I
Okay,
believe you said some
Yaakov,
things to me,
but
and I'm
Yaakov-
always open for conversation.
Well,
if anybody wants to call in and
Well,
ask me any
that's right.
questions.
Well, very
I
interesting.
think that they just mean that the
I think-
people who turn away from Judaism, a lot of it comes from anger, and that they just have a lot of hate for not because it's based on facts, but because there's a
But-
lot of emotional things attached to
but
it. It's
all
not
the-
all logic.
That's true. A lot of people do turn away from Judaism.
But
because
I
of
don't
the
think in
emotional
today,
thing.
right? But I don't think in today's day that we should be saying, "Oh, that person's an apicursus. Let's not discuss it with them." We should
Right.
discuss it
No,
with
of course not,
everybody
of course
because
not.
I think it's healthy for people to figure out why they're religious. And unless you argue with an apicursus, they can never change.
But I
So
think it's also very invalidating to say that anyone who's an atheist, mind you, Jews have the largest proportion of
yeah,
atheists.
apicursus is someone who curses out God's name. He's never done that. He doesn't believe that God exists. If God exists, I don't think he'd curse out his name.
Jews have the largest proportion of atheists in any other religion
What are
in
you
the world.
talking about?
That's only
Christian-
today's day
what
because a
about-
lot of bad things went down and we're angry.
Not really. That's the thing. I don't know any atheists who are really angry. There are some people.
I
who I've
only
met-
know angry atheists.
Right.
Do you think I'm angry?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah. You've got a lot of like proving to people. It's
She
like
does that.
That's
important.
because I'm passionate about
Misha,
things.
she
But I'm
does-
not, I live within
Passionate,
the Jewish
hurt.
community.
It's an emotional. It's
Misha.
almost,
I'm
it's
not.
a-
That's
you're a very logical person, but it's still a trigger for
Well,
you.
I'm gonna ask you. You say also I'm
It's
angry
a
all the
trigger
time.
because
Why do you
it's
say I'm
illogical.
angry? Ask you
And
why
I
do you
get
say?
frustrated with lack
But
of
Misha,
logic.
she says I'm angry too. Let's take another caller before we do
You
the
are
commercials.
angry, but not about that.
You're also angry. I mean, like,
I don't
Yeah,
know.
like, I'm angry. I'm not so
Everybody-
religious. I'm also
You
angry.
don't see my emotions.
Everybody's
you don't
not.
see my feelings.
I'm religious.
So you don't really know what my.
I just noticed how
experiences were.
important it is for you to like
That
let
doesn't-
people
that doesn't-
know.
There are some people that argue about.
It's all a trigger.
Politics. That
Yes,
doesn't mean
and
they're
most of it's
angry.
emotional and for the
Hello,
triggering
let's
points.
take a
It's
call.
insignificant argument.
Okay, guys, you're on the air with Heshy, Esty, and Misha. Hello, what's your name? if you want.
Hi, my name is Chaim.
Hello, Chaim. How
I'm
are
also
you?
Chaim, by the way.
Hi, how are you, Chaim?
Good.
Yeah. So I just want to address this point about atheists being emotional, right? So it's an emotional response, anger.
Hmm.
What would you say to the proposition that religious people are religious because of an emotional need?
Not because they're angry, because they feel guilt, which is also bad. But
I mean,
it
they
doesn't
feel-
come out of anger.
Or-
It's like
or-
guilt. Yeah.
I mean, I would say
Well,
that
they feel they need a certain comfort, right? So if I were to tell you that you were religious because you feel a certain emotional need, isn't that a little bit patronizing to you?
Most people are religious because they'd rather believe, and it makes them feel safe. Whether
No,
it's true or not is not
I
relevant.
actually believe. I don't know
Actually,
what you're
most people
talking
are
about.
religious because they don't want the neighbors to think that they're a bad person.
well, most
Wow.
people,
Well, that's
you're
Kohlberg's
crazy.
level of morality. The lowest level of morality is caring about what others think about you.
religion cultivates an atmosphere of bigotry and hate. But
That's not true.
absolutely,
That depends which
unequivocally,
religion and where you are. That no.
we can get into that.
There's
We can get
loving
into that.
Jews
Can
that
I
teach
ask,
it
I want
well.
to ask Chaim. I have a question for you, Chaim.
But I do want to. Yeah.
Go
I
ahead.
want to ask Chaim because Chaim, I want to just go up this topic a little bit. The midterm elections are coming up in
No,
like
do not
22
go off
days.
this topic.
I have to. I'm hanging up on him. Look how angry she gets at me because she's not religious.
That's why.
I
Chaim,
think it's because she.
are you,
Okay, go ahead.
are you going to vote for
She's
the
very frustrated
Republicans
with
or the
how God is
Democrats in the
acting.
midterm elections?
Do you see a relationship between religion and politics?
Sure do. Sure do. If you notice, all politics is about religion. You have abortion and you have a God. You see all the politicians sitting in churches. I don't see any politicians that ever say they're atheists, ever.
Can I ask you the motivation for asking me who I'm going to vote for in the midterm?
I'm not asking. I'm saying, who do you want to see back in? Do you want to see the Republicans stay in power or the Democrats to come back, who are all mentally, even though I'm a Democratic, they're all sick people, what they've been doing lately, especially Hillary Clinton accusing Trump to being like a retard and a traitor. I mean, she's whacked completely now. I thought I liked her at one point.
Oh, I don't even know how to respond to that. But
No
Yeah.
problem. Thank you
Anyway,
for your
no,
call,
I think he
Chaim.
wanted to still discuss something.
We're going to do it.
we
Let's
can-
keep going. Let's keep going. But Chaim, thank you for your call.
Yeah.
So go ahead, Misha. Tell us about your little. Tell us about your. I believe in God, and I actually really believe He exists. I really believe He watches over me. I believe in the thousands of angels that thing, and I believe that there will be a day of judgment that I will go up, and I do
the
believe.
day of judgment. That's my problem.
Forget the day of judgment. I believe I'm going to skirt the day
Don't
of
be so
judgment,
angry,
but I also believe there's a Gan Eden,
Angry at a religion for teaching hate and making people like
oh.
you not religious because they teach it with such
That's not
bad
why I'm not
interpretation.
religious. That's not why I'm not religious.
Believe me,
That's
if
not
you were
why-
raised with a loving God, this wouldn't be
But
an
when
I was
issue.
raised
Misha-
with a loving God. I
No,
was
No, you
raised with a
weren't.
loving.
There's no way. They don't even teach
Sorry,
it.
no. Esty was there my entire childhood. She knows everything. I'm
Well,
sorry.
hello.
I
I
forgot
wanna-
that, like in Minnesota, she used to come visit me as a kid and see how angry I was.
Misha, I want to ask you a question. Misha, do you believe in the Garden of Eden after we die?
No, of course not.
Of course not. So after you die, you just get planted in the ground and it's all
Just
over.
like every other animal
Wow.
on Earth.
Let's take a call, Esty.
Okay.
Hello, you're on the air with Heshy, Esty, and Misha.
yeah, hi, Heshy. I wanted to ask the question regarding the incident you had with the sanitation person. How long ago was that?
That was, I think, 2015. It was 2015 or 2016. 2015. It was like 2 years ago, 3 years ago, when it happened. 2 years ago, about 2 years ago, something like that. Yeah.
And when was that case dismissed again?
It was happened in November of maybe 2015 or 2014. No, it was 2015, and it was dismissed in April of 2016 of lawyers and investigation. I had to hire investigators. It cost me like $7,000 in legal fees. My lawyer was a very nice man, but even he didn't want to believe a lot of the stuff till I showed him the affidavits, and he interviewed each of the 14 witnesses, and he really interviewed them hard. We had investigators. Forget the money cost me legal fees, but it cost me personal money. And again, finally, the lawyer, when he saw that they were going to go to court and submit false papers for this lady, it was dismissed. But they were just angry enough, and they didn't even investigate. All they did was arrest me, and say, okay, you're guilty till you can prove your own innocence.
Okay, so let me ask you, did you ever think of filing a notice of claim against the city of New York?
I was told, I was hinted not to do it.
Oh, you were told not to, because that would have been a very valid meritorious claim.
Correct. And I was thinking, but also if there's after like a certain amount of days, like 90 days or something like that.
You had 90 days.
90 days from the time that you were acquitted.
I heard 90 days before that or when it happened, but you know what? I was just happy that it was over. I was able to breathe and it went away. But it was like so disturbing to me that what they did to me, forget even that what could have happened to me. That night that they kept me there and they punished me and they purposely kept me longer and the system did not work for me. And again, you know what happened the next day? Here's the best part of it. Pearlstein worked with which I like happens to be Mr. Pearlstein, but he walked down the streets with Greenfeld and they announced on the show that nobody should walk in the way of any sanitation person because the next day they're giving tickets on the whole 16th Avenue and nobody should bother them because if you do, you can get in trouble. And they warned everybody that there's going to be a ticket blitz on sanitation and don't bother us. And this is stupidity.
The other thing I wanted to say is with regards to Misha, he sounds like a highly educated young man, and he sounds like he has a yeshiva background. And it's probably those that have a yeshiva background who have a bad experience, probably with their education, that turn the other way. And there's no way that you're going to be able to convince someone like Misha, who has the background, that there is a God or there is no God. So you're just wasting your time trying to convince him whether there is Hashem or not.
I disagree with you because I've seen people.
Well,
I've seen. Wait a minute, before you go, I disagree with you. I've seen people throughout their lives who are not religious, and then when they turn 50, 60, they repented or they changed or they saw something. So I see miracles happen every single day. Many miracles happened in my life, from the birth of my child, from the saving
I'm not
grace.
sure why that's a miracle, but let me jump in here because that was addressed to me. Shlomi, you have some valid points to what you were saying. I did grow up religious. I went to yeshiva. I actually believed in God until a couple of years ago, and I had no animosity. I wasn't religious for like 8 years, but I had no animosity. I still went to shul. I still, went to Shabbos meals. I still go to Shabbos meals. I'm still dating a religious Jewish woman. I'm still involved with the Jewish community very actively. All my friends are Jewish. All my friends are religious. Most of my friends believe in God. It's not animus. It's not hatred. It's not any resentment. It's like, for me, when you realize that Santa Claus is not real, that's to me what happened here. So and I don't mean to be offensive or anything like that. But after doing extensive research, this wasn't a decision I just like, one day, I hate Hashem or whatever. No, I researched this.
Were you looking to prove that he exists or that he doesn't exist? Because you'll always find proof of whatever you want to believe in.
Well,
you're never going to be able to prove the existence or non-existence of Hashem.
Especially not through logic. It's based on a feeling.
It's on indoctrination. You believe in God.
It's a feeling. It's not indoctrination.
This goes back to the caller beforehand, Chaim, who was saying why do people believe in God? People believe in God. People believe in religion because they were indoctrinated.
Let's let me finish his comment, then we're going to go to commercials.
It's strictly based on your belief, and I can tell you right now, as an attorney, I do depositions every day. I had a deposition today, and the defendant happened to be Orthodox Jews. And I can tell you by the way they were behaving at the deposition, I wouldn't be surprised or shocked of Misha's position, because although these people look the look and they try to act the act, they certainly did not behave as Orthodox Frum Jews should behave.
See, that's a whole issue in itself. I hear you. I hear your point.
Shlomi, thank you for your call.
I want to respond to that really quickly. I do hear that point. I do think that there's a lot of religious Jews that maybe set a bad precedent, but that's not my issue. My issue is that the facts just don't add up. That based on the research of Julius Wellhausen and Ernst Selin and Sigmund Freud and all these different Moses and monotheism, pick up some of these books and read it. And we also have to remember that religion is pretty much determined by your parents and where you're born. And if you were born in Afghanistan, you would most likely be Muslim. And if you were born in Russia, you would most likely be Orthodox Christian. And if
there's Jews in every country that was
I'm
born.
saying statistically.
That's because most people have followers, but there are people who are looking for the truth and find it. There is proof in both ways.
Most of the people will just follow whatever their parents do.
That is true, but that doesn't make something correct or incorrect.
Religion is simply geographical. If it's all determined based off
that's if you are a follower, which most people are. There's only like maybe 2%
Right,
that's
okay.
not a
So
follower.
4,200
Those 2%, they
religions
can
in
be
the
in
world.
any religion. They will come and
Every
find the right
religion claims that they have the right claims.
True.
There's not a lot of evidence to back up any of them. There's some historical evidence, but there's not really any evidence to.
Do you know that the entire point of
believing
the
it
Torah
because-
is to make us conscious? And the fact that Jews are going around doing things that are unconscious is the opposite of what it's trying to get us to do. What do you think making a bracha is? Is noticing what am I eating, appreciating
Brachas
food.
are not in the Torah.
Then where's it from?
Talmud.
Well, we consider the Talmud part of the Torah, no?
Okay, if you want to get into.
Now, but I want to ask you a question. I have actually seen God. I mean, I didn't see him
Whoa.
personally. Wait.
You might want to talk to
I'm on the
psychiatrist.
medication. I got that. But my point is, I've seen his miracles. I've heard about his miracles from going back from my grandparents. I've seen miracles. People telling me about the Holocaust, how they survived. Miracles.
What are you calling a
miracles
miracle?
about.
There's
I'm
6
telling you
million
miracles.
people who
The
didn't
way my
survive.
child
So
was
what was
born.
that? Also miracles?
I've seen a miracle the way that my child was born. I've seen miracles on people who had
Childborn is not a
cancer and got
miracle.
better when
Yeah,
doctors said it's
21
not
children
possible.
die under the age of 5, die every single minute.
got you,
God
but-
picks and chooses which miracles to do for which people.
Yep.
He picked and chooses which Jews
Yeah,
to save from the Holocaust.
that's what.
He let
That's the
6
beauty.
million. Come on.
That's a beauty.
You're saying like
we
death is a
have-
bad thing.
Don't
Makes
get me
sense.
wrong. We do have questions, but the point is we can't calculate what the Almighty Himself calculates. It's like when your son is bad, right? And you give him a little spanking. Now he says, "Oh, you had no right to spank me." Of course, we had to spank you because you did something bad. You didn't understand what you did bad.
No,
You
God
ran-
doesn't punish us. He's trying to teach us
He's
and
trying to
help us
teach us.
grow. There's no
Correct.
punishment.
These are all based off of imagination. At
Wow.
the end of the day, when with all these people dying around the world, you have to look at it from an objective standpoint and realize that either God is impotent and can't do anything,
Wow.
or he's evil and doesn't mind all these people dying, or he's imaginary.
He's not
You
dying.
pick.
He's bringing them back home.
Or
to his-
everything he does is to help people grow and become better. And death is not a bad thing. Only we have labeled it
So
bad.
you're saying destroying the Philippines with tsunami and destroying everybody's lives is
It's supposed to teach us something.
The Holocaust
Everybody,
is
it
supposed
could
to
not
teach
have
us
hurt
something.
a single person that was not meant to be hurt.
Esty, take a call.
or it's imaginary.
Esty, take a call.
You'd rather believe it's imaginary?
Yeah.
It's not a belief. It just makes more
Wow,
sense.
this
Everybody
God
developed all these gods.
conversation never
There are
ends.
tens of thousands of gods. that were
I should have
developed.
brought it up. Hello, caller. You're on the air. Hello?
Hi, you're on the air.
You got to shut up your radio. Hello? Hello? Okay. Let's hang up on them. They're
That's odd.
making noises. Anyways, let's do a couple commercials, Esty, if you don't mind, quickly. We got to do something again this
So
week.
yeah, we have Soft Fusion Inc. They're a software development company that can help
A little
propel your
excitement,
business.
Please be excited, Esty.
Oh man. That can help propel your business to new heights. They've been doing this for 15 years and they can save you time and money. They
Make
can make your
believe you're
business
on
run
stage.
smoother and streamline. I'm literally doing that. Streamline things to the point that confusion is a rarity. For a free consultation, you can call them at 718-215-9800.
They happen to be a very good company. They help a lot of people with their computer
You're
needs.
saying this because of my face. My voice is sounding it. It's just my face is not expressing the same, but it's okay because it's on the radio.
Okay, very good. Well, you're on YouTube too. You're on the
It's
camera.
okay, but my face is this way, so they can't see.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, Pescare Carne, a wonderful meat restaurant located at 509 Avenue P. They have baby ribs, steaks, gnocchi, and duck, and a bunch of exotic appetizers and dishes that are delicious. Go visit them. They also have a sister restaurant located at 1776 Ocean Avenue. Amazing food. They have Belgian waffles and salmon shallots that I love, and they have a s'mores coffee, which has a little cracker in it, and one that has a chocolate in it, which is exciting for me. But so yeah, they're located at
At least you're
1776
excited. Wow,
Ocean
thank
Avenue.
goodness.
Wow, food is very exciting. Yeah, and of course we have Orchidia. They are open they're open all day, but they have a lunch buffet from 12 to 3 for $25 a person, including coffee and tea. They're located at 4815 12th Avenue.
By the way, before I do my set of commercials, we had an interview, me and Esty, on Brick TV. I posted it on WhatsApp and our Facebook, on the Just Enough Heshy Facebook and Twitter, and it was a very cool commercial with me, Esty, and Zalmi talking about Trump. And Esty had a great line. She says, "Whatever Trump says, you can say whatever he says, but his actions are louder than his words, and he actually came through many, many times." And Esty, the way you proposed and propelled yourself and showed yourself. You were very eloquent and very cool in that commercial.
Yeah,
and
he really edited that great.
He edited that very good. But the way Esty spoke about how Trump did these things and the many different things he did.
He's been on our
Very good.
on the Jew
Anyways,
side.
we have Chamula Jewelers,
That's
Esty.
all that matters, right?
Chamula Jewelers is a
You gotta
family-owned.
protect your own people.
Esty, we have Chamula Jewelers,
Superiority complex.
a family-owned
Nope.
business. Hello?
Ethnocentric. Sorry.
Hello, we're a family-owned business for over 40 years, specializing in diamond engagement rings, eternity bands, and diamond jewelry. Or bring in your old jewelry to redesign and freshen it up for a new look. Chamula Jewelers. Esty, what's that?
They've got the sparkle for you.
They got the sparkle for you. 944 Kings Highway, 718-336-1980, or call ttstyles.com, 718-675-6842, 718-675-6842. Their website is teeteestyles.com for all your wigs, your hairs, for your weddings, for your makeup. Wonderful prices. They pick up, they deliver, and she's my daughter-in-law. Wonderful, wonderful girl. And of course she is. She's wonderful. Green Line Building Solutions. We help with stop orders, vacate orders, inspections, code compliance, court, ECB violations, and corrections. We're located at 5318 16th Avenue. We do all your expediting, your FDNY, DEP. We help you with the settlements of the Department of Finance. Again, our 718-871-0382, located on the corner of 54th Street and 16th Avenue. You can come in for private appointments. Just walk in. My door is always open for any need. Plus, we do other community services. We help you out with 718-871-0382. And of course, we have Wolf's Grocery, open from 8 a.m. to 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. Located at 2362 Nostrand Avenue. Wonderful people. 718-252-1863. 718-252-1863. They prepare your orders and they do everything for you. By the way, the amount I got a message on my Twitter. The amount of nonsense coming out of your mouth, Misha, tonight is too much to handle.
Oh, just
Tell
because
him
he
to
says
come
so?
in. Stop
Just
hiding behind
like-
the keyboard.
Just
Tell him
like
to call in.
the
Or her.
shirt is testimony that a tailor is. I don't know. To your words is. Anyways,
Wow.
they're not too happy.
People
with
like
what
By the
you're
way,
Hide
saying.
you
behind
were
the
saying, like,
keyboard.
I don't know your childhood, how do I know you're angry? The fact that you can quote things from the Torah and say, oh, wow, the Torah says this.
Is it possible I'm just educated?
No, there was nothing in the Torah that cannot be explained in a loving, kind way. And I invited you to come speak to my
Right.
uncle who can explain that to
I
you.
would love to. I think
There-
that, I think
but
that you
it-
can
but
take
I
anything
think-
from the Torah and explain it in a nice and kind way. You can
Exactly,
also
you're-
explain it in a horrible, horrific way.
Right. So then whose
So it
fault
all-
is it, the Torah or the people
But you
explaining
also have
it?
to look at what impact it had on society and what that had
The
on
fact that
society.
humans corrupt everything
2,000
does not
years
make it
ago.
bad.
Misha, 95% of the world believes in religion, whether it's Jewish, Christianity,
Okay, the mass amount of people does
95
not prove anything
Yeah,
because
that's
most
a
people are
bandwagon
idiots.
fallacy.
woman, 95%
you're
of the world are
using-
idiots.
you say-
Why do they make senators that we have to have two people represent us? Because they don't trust the people. Don't tell me the people are smart.
One second. Are you using a numbers
I
fallacy?
love you. Esty. The reason why we
Heshy.
have senators is because every state of
Why? Because they don't want to let individual people vote. They want to have representatives because they don't think we're smart enough to vote. If not, every single law should be voted by everybody. But no, we'd rather have representatives.
These are because you can't have 5,000 people
Why?
telling us to make a vote.
No, we
put
should. Every
somebody-
person should have a say. But
We
no,
have to-
people are too dumb.
Why do
Anyway.
people? So why do people have a president of the United States? You need only one person in charge. You can't have 50 bosses, or like they say, you can't have too many cooks in the kitchen. You can't have that.
People should still get to vote. It's not
They
cooks in the
do vote.
kitchen.
They do vote.
They
You
vote
want-
for a
you just-
person.
The only problem is, one minute.
Yeah, I want every single person to vote. Hey, are we doing? Are we hiring education? Or are we not? If people don't vote for it, then it shouldn't be done. Every Joe
Wonder-
Schmo gets a say because they are a person and they're not dumber than anybody else.
So
and if
they're-
they are, too bad.
Well,
They usually are.
So
Still,
you're,
that's,
so
then
you're
it's not
telling-
democracy.
wait a minute, so you're telling me that our people who vote in all these
Democracy
politicians
can
are
be
idiots, right?
representative democracy.
Because
Yeah.
we keep voting in the same stupid idiots all the time.
I'm just saying that don't assume that tons of people are smart because they have the majority on their side.
So most of our politicians
That's
are
why
idiots, which
Judaism's
I
so
agree
great
with.
because we're the minority.
But Esty, I do agree with you. Most of
Okay.
our politicians are idiots.
Most people are idiots.
Right. Okay. So my question is then, so what do you think of Chaim Deutsch?
He's great and wonderful, and I refuse to speak bad about any politician.
I think he's an idiot.
I'm sorry. He made separate beaches for men and women because he wanted women to
He's
have a
so
chance to
busy
enjoy it.
to have the beaches when we need money for
Is
for
he in
youth
charge of
care
that?
centers. Yes, he's part of the building department. He could be part of it. He's part of our city council budgets. And
He was a nice
he's-
politician. I have nothing negative to say about him. He was polite to me. He gave me the time of day. That's all I ask.
Oh,
I have a
really?
problem with Simcha Felder.
Me too. I'm
Oh, he'd
very
love that. Go
disappointed.
talk to him about
Especially,
that.
I want to hear him comment on his chief of staff on the groping issue, and I'm sure he's not going to come out with a comment. He's going to hide like a little bug under a rock,
Let's
like
see
he
Good
what
for
always
you
does.
for using
I
the
hope-
word
I hope
bug. I
that
approve
he-
of that
I
word.
did not call him Nazi, right?
Or pig or fat. I am very proud.
Well,
Bug is the perfect word.
He's not fat.
I don't know that. I'm just saying.
Okay.
I hope that he rescinds his support of ultra orthodox religious education without coupled with not coupled with even the minute.
He can give his support. I don't think he does anything about it.
What about
but
freedom?
I give my
an
support
amendment to the budget bill.
But
shouldn't we get like a choice? Because these are our children. Should we? I mean, I was also
Do the
very
children
pro
get a
it.
choice?
No. You're
The
stuck.
children
Whatever you're
get-
born in, you're going to go to therapy for the rest of your life to
Right.
get out
You're
of.
gonna be severely indoctrinated. You might end up.
And thank God there's the internet, and they can
But
go to a public library and learn anything they want to
Esty,
learn.
everybody has
You
to go
think
to
in
therapy.
Williamsburg, they have a public library.
Wait a minute,
They
Misha.
They don't have one.
Yeshiva, and they can.
If they go, they get kicked out. But afterwards, they can.
So when they're 16 years old and they're trying to discover questions that have been bugging them.
Believe
who do
me,
they
they
ask?
get there.
Really?
Yeah, they have the internet. They find their way. So maybe you have a
'Cause I
bad
know a lot
childhood, you
of
can get better
buildings-
from there.
I had a wonderful childhood. Thank you very much.
Me
There are
too.
buildings in Williamsburg that block the cell signals because they don't allow internet.
Can I
That's
ask
why
you-
they had the whole
Well, but
convention in
again, I
Stadium
have to
about
interrupt you,
banning
Esty.
internet.
They have to shit.
Esty, everybody needs therapy.
Probably.
Everybody needs therapy.
Yep.
I don't need therapy.
I think everyone could use therapy.
Yeah.
I
It's
don't.
more like
I
that.
don't think I could use
How
therapy.
about this,
Therapy
okay?
is a wonderful
You were
thing.
taught a certain mindset from childhood. You keep that mindset for your entire life, and that is what ignorance is. When you go outside of the mindset that you were taught, I've looked into like other religions, atheism. I don't really know what I believe. I haven't studied it too much. But the point
Should
is,
have a
whatever
conversation with me off the show.
I know, whatever you think of. Whatever you're raised as, you should look outside of it to see was what I was taught true, not just my parents taught it. It must be the right one. I
Right.
accept
If I'm
it.
happy, for example,
If you're happy, you're right. Then stay.
As
Because
long
if
as
you're
you're not
happy,
hurting
so
other
you're
people.
telling,
if you care,
so you're
it's
telling
okay
me
to
if
be
I
happier more than
hold
finding
on, woman,
truth.
so I'm married to a beautiful lady for the last 29 years.
Okay.
So now I should look out of the box and go.
No.
what
If you're happy, don't look anywhere. If you're not happy, keep looking because why not find happiness? You know, it doesn't matter if God exists or not. If it makes you happy to follow Him, go for it. If it makes you happy to not follow Him, go for it. Just don't push your happiness on anybody else's, and nobody should push theirs on yours, and then you're great.
I hear that. As long as people are not hurting other people, as long as you're accepting of your children, no matter what, if they're gay or straight or they choose not to follow the religion or to follow a different religion, as long as you're loving and caring of all people, then I don't have a problem.
You know what someone told me?
with
Someone
whatever you
told
wanna
me people being gay is like evolution's answer to people to having less kids because there's too many people on the earth. Is that a thing?
No.
why
it's not a thing.
people being
That's not racist to say though.
Homosexuality is prominent in numerous species.
And it's been around for a long time. But I'm saying maybe that's the
Yeah.
answer to having too many people on Earth is if enough people become gay, they won't have children.
That's not
They'll
true.
adopt children. It'll
gay people have children.
not
They-
biologically.
Sure, they do. They do.
Maybe women,
Women.
but not the men.
Okay, so but the
I see. No, but still only one of them has. Both of them has?
the man
Huh.
can't have a baby, but he can artificially
surrogate.
inseminate to get a surrogate for a
Right.
child. So don't say the world won't be populated. Or
No,
whatever
it will
is.
be populated. I'm just saying like maybe a little bit less.
Now, one more question for you, Risha, before we get off the air. We again, like you said, you don't believe in God and you don't believe in the Torah. Was there forefathers of ours, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob? Or
They're probably based on real people.
Oh, they are based on, but they
Really?
do,
Even I was going to say they're probably just stories to tell us.
They're probably based on real people.
So they-
might have even been
Right.
their names.
So
but
they're not our grandfathers.
Those
They're not.
stories
I
are
thought it was just
exactly-
stories that they told us to like make a point, like a fable. Like Adam supposedly didn't exist.
Right.
What?
So, but he was a.
Should
Oh
look
my
at
God.
Jonathan Sachs.
We're
Jonathan
gonna lose
Sachs.
every listener that we
No,
have.
no, it's not that I don't believe that he existed.
Jonathan
I'm saying
Sachs
according
talks
to
about
that
Adam and-
philosophy.
Rabbi Lord Jonathan Sachs says that Adam and Eve didn't exist.
Right, but why Adam and not Abraham? I don't understand why one and not the other. Why is one a fable and one is considered a real man?
Because one of them is a creation story, and every culture has a creation story.
Right.
But
Noah's
so
based
what about
off
the
of-
flood? Was there a flood?
Noah's based off the Sumerian flood myth. It's almost adopted
but
directly.
but it's been proven factual that the world was flooded, and
No, it hasn't.
sure it has been.
Oh, well, like a
Scientists
few
are
million
coming-
years ago.
Like maybe there was a tsunami, but you can't prove that it was God
Well, a
doing
few
it,
million years
or
ago,
that there was a
the world
teva.
was underwater,
Mhm.
and eventually,
Oh, so the evolution that it sank and the planet evolved into the way it is
yeah.
right now.
But we find seashells on top of mountains, so we're like, what happened? Maybe there was a flood. Let's tell a flood story, and so a flood story is developed and spread throughout religions.
Do you believe in aliens?
I think that there's a possibility that aliens are. It's a likely possibility that there's other forms of life on other planets.
Oh, that'd be so great. Wait. We don't believe that?
We don't believe that.
Why
What do you
not?
mean? Didn't God create 7 worlds and then destroy it? Maybe there's some aliens left. I would
We
like to
find
believe
planets
that.
all the time that
We're-
are that distance away from the sun that they're susceptible. And
We're coming to
I would like to believe in
capable of
aliens. Thank you
reaching-
very much. I hope my religion approves of it.
My
alien
chil-
just means an alternate life.
On a different
Yeah.
planet.
By the way, I joke about that all the time with my kids, but the truth of the matter is I really don't believe there are aliens.
Is it racist to think that they might be green?
We're finding new planets all the time. How do we know?
How about ghosts? You believe in ghosts?
Ghosts? I think so, but he probably doesn't. Ghosts, I believe in.
No.
No ghosts.
No.
I don't
Thank
know.
goodness.
I felt people when they died. I was like, what just happened?
Everybody-
And actually, yeah.
Thank you for listening to the Just Stood Up show. Esty was a little depressed before the show. I think she's feeling much better right now.
Yeah.
Also, try to find Esty. She's going to on a comedy. She's a comedian.
I'm not
right?
posting it.
She's not posting, but try to find out where she's dancing
we
and
all wanna go.
co-posting. We all want to go. Find it out. I want to go. Thank you again, everybody. Listen to us
Thank
next
you.
week, Monday night at 9 p.m. We'll all be back, and we're going to fight with Misha again. Thank you, everybody.
All right.
WSNR or its management.
Осенняя